Today we are building this modern 3-piece spinning nesting tree. This tree is sure to be a showstopper. I begin by cutting off a 5.5-inch piece from my 1x6. This we will need for the base. Rip your material down to 1.5 inches. At 1.5 inches, the trees don't quite spin all the way around on their own. If you did choose to cut it down to a 1-inch material so that your thickness wasn't so thick, they would spin freely all the way around. Set your miter saw to 22.5 degrees and create your first miter. Then set the saw to 45 degrees, cut off a 5 3/4 inch piece. Set the miter saw back to 22.5 degrees. Flip your board and then cut the second side to 4 3/4 inches. Flip your board again. The bottom is then cut to 2 7/8 inches. Repeat these steps to cut the outer and middle tree. It's a little simpler for me without all of my equipment in the way. Now we're just going to find the center of our bases and the very bottoms of our trees. To do that, all that we really need to do is take one of the bottoms, take a longer board, and then use that as a guide to find the dead center. You guys sick of Christmas trees yet? Me? Nah, never. There's just too many cool ones, you know. That's why we built so many. So then find the center for all of your boards and go ahead and drill them out to the same thickness as your dowel rod. Oh, the weather outside is actually pretty nice out. It's pretty warm. If you guys want to leave your bases square, since these do have pretty sharp edges, you could do so. I used a hole saw for this one, just a 3.5, and cut it out to be round, and then drilled out the spot for my dowel rod. Additionally, I did go ahead and take my router and just gave it a little bit of a trim around the edge just to class it up a little bit. For that, I just throw some 3M tape on the back of it, stick it down to the counter, and then run my router around it. Make sure you guys are running your router in the correct direction. If you guys are doing an outside router, you will go counterclockwise. If you're doing an interior router, it will go clockwise. Otherwise, it's likely to skip. Did that on me the other day. Terrifying. Next on the list, we are just going to go ahead and measure for our dowel rod. So right here, so I am cutting to 4 3/4 inches because I do have to account for the thickness of the material. Mine have been like this for a little while. Go ahead and organize all of your tree pieces just so that they nest and you make sure that everything fits together before we get to this step, the gluing and nailing stage. So for that, all that we are going to do is apply just a little bit of wood glue. I just have a Titebond 3 because I have a lot of it. Wow, that is milky. Little bit of wood glue on there, and then go ahead and put your two pieces together.